Salis. Thank you, Titan Sports. Yes, it has been a very great experience, especially seeing some of these African players playing in the top leagues in the Asian countries, especially in Saudi Arabia. Of late, some Ghanaians has also been to China to play, which in no time I will come and talk about it. But let's talk about these young players who are playing in Asia. I mean, especially if you go to the Middle East, we have Odion Ighalo from Nigeria. We have Meriga, Musa Meriga from FC Porto to Al Hilal, and we used to have Vicente Abubakar, the top striker for Cameroonian, and all those big names in the Saudi league. And then if you go to the United Arab Emirates, we have big names of players. Osmani, who is playing for the Sharqa, and if you go to Al Ain, there have been players who played for Al Ain. So seeing these players, especially Olunga, Michael Olunga, and then Odion Ighalo displaying this kind of talent at the highest stage of the Asian Champions League is not a surprise for me. Of course, you can say a lot about these young players, especially with Michael Olunga, who has been fantastic from last season for Al Duhail, and they expected him to perform this season, but he didn't get exactly how he needed to do that because playing in Al Duhail, you have one of the best strikers in Qatar in Al Duhail, so you don't expect to shine, but he did that with class. Especially last season, he scored 9 goals in the Asian Champions League, and that was wonderful. So with that, I think it's more or less like this is exactly what these Africans are doing in Asia. They have been doing it in. If you go to Europe, we have Sadio Mane, we have Mohamed Salah, we have the likes of Hakim Ziyech, and we have the likes of Khalid Koulibaly, who are doing it in, who have done it in Chelsea, and have also done it in Napoli. We have a lot of players like Michael Essien who did it. We have Solomon Kalou, Didier Drogba. So in Europe, we have people who can say, okay, they have paid their dues. But if you come to the Asian, more especially the Middle East, we don't follow it that much. We'll tell you this is exactly what we mean. But going into the deep into the game, Al Duhail lost by 7-0 against Al Ahly of Saudi Arabia in Qatar. It's a game that, for me, I think Al Duhail should have done something, but this is Al Ahly. They are selling the Saudi Arabian sensation, and they have Musa Meriga and they have Odion Ighalo. You don't expect any defense to hold those attacking. No, you don't expect that, and they have a lot of talented Kanu, who is a fantastic midfielder. Look at how he handled the first goal in particular. You see the assist he gave to Odion Ighalo, and look at what Musa Meriga did to sell him to score that 4th goal in the first half. So you can see these two players are great, especially Olunga has been doing that in this Qatar League from last 2 seasons to last seasons, and he has been great with no doubt. But that game against Al Ahly were fresh from playing the Club World Cup and playing in the final against a certain Real Madrid. Real Madrid won by 4-2, and going back to 2 seasons, last season when they played the final against Chelsea, and Chelsea managed to beat them by 2-1 in the extra time. So it tells you Al Ahly are ready and they are fresh, more especially with what happened in Morocco. So they came with full vengeance with those players, and I think it was great seeing those 2 African players displaying their talent. The Kenyan international Michael Olunga was great, but he didn't get that. No, that much wasn't his day for him to even get something to do in the game. But Odion Ighalo scoring 4 goals, we have Musa Meriga scoring 2 goals, and the rest makes everything so good. The African players have been performing, and I think it's time for the Asian countries to start looking at the African countries for more talents. I think it's going to help them a lot. If you look at more especially in United Arab Emirates, yeah, in United Arab Emirates, there have been so many players who played for them who came from Africa, and it's no doubt that these young players, even in the last year, African Cup of Nations, the last African Cup of Nations, almost 30 players, more especially in Asia and in the Middle East. So it tells you exactly what you need to know about the Asian League, which for me, I think it is growing gradually, and it is something that a lot of people should watch. So for me, I wasn't shocked because I was shocked with the goal margin, but I wasn't shocked about the win. I think Al Ahly were great. Al Ahly Saudi Arabia were great, and Al Duhail weren't great, especially at the back. They were terrible at the back, and it gave Odion Ighalo, it gave Musa Meriga, it gave Salim the opportunity, and more especially in the midfield too, they were sluggish a bit. It gives Kanu the opportunity to do exactly what he needed to do for his team to win. So for me, I think this is exactly what happened. So you did ask me about Abdulaziz Yakubu, who recently signed for the Chinese super giant. And of course, China should expect a lot from Abdulaziz Yakubu. When you sign Asamoah from Al Ain, for me, I think when Shanghai Shenhua signed Asamoah, I was very happy in 2015 or 2016. They signed him. I was very happy because Asamoah was well decorated when he left Europe in the early 2010-11 from Sunderland to Al Ain. He helped Al Ain. I think in 2013 or 2012, Asamoah was the goal king in the Asian Champions League with 12 goals, and it tells you exactly what the Ghanaians have been doing. Mubarak Wakasu also signed, and at the same time we had Frank Acheampong, who also signed and who has been a role model for these young Chinese players. Frank Acheampong, he's fantastic. He's cool. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's disciplined, and he's tactically very, very good. And he has captained the team, and it tells you exactly what you needed to do. So for me, I think with Marcao leaving and with his team getting Abdulaziz Yakub, in my opinion, is a very good deal. Abdulaziz Yakub is very, very intelligent. He's a very good scorer with both legs. He can score with the left, he can score with the right, he can operate from the wings and cut him to score. He is also good in air, he can score with the head, and he is a very good player. In fact, he can play as a winger, and he can also play as the number 9, the standard number 9, and he is very good with regards to pace. He has the pace, and he can do a lot for, and he is very good with regards to pace. He has the pace, and he can do a lot for his team, and more especially, he can improve the Chinese league too. And so, for me, I think this is exactly what his team needed to be able to start winning. So, for me, I think I will still say a lot, but Jose Kante is also there. He has been fantastic. 14th season for Ganju Mighty Lions is something else. And we have Mukivi, 18 in Xinjiang. It's also something that we need to also kind of look after. So I think for me, African countries, more especially the African players, have done a lot in the Asian Champions League and in Asia, more especially the West. If you look at the West, I would say the Eastern Asia and the Southern Asia have dominated. We call them the East Zone. They have dominated, winning a lot of the titles in the Asian Champions League. They have won 25. The Western, the Central, and the South Asia, the West Zone also have done a lot, winning 12. So I think we are into more development. We are into more, or to seeing more Africans and the Africans have been doing it, and we need to recommend, and then we need to also appreciate exactly what they are doing. For me, I'm also a journalist in Ghana for Husky Radio, and I'm also a football scout. I do a lot of scouting, and I'm gradually leaning to my own agency. In case any of you or any of the teams needed a player in the Ghana Premier League, I'm also there to also help get those players. It's very important, but sometimes too, we need to also see the quality. So overall, this is what I see about the Ghanaian players, more especially the Ghana player Abdulaziz Yakub, and the African players who are playing in the ACL and the rest of the respective leagues in Saudi Arabia, in United Arab Emirates, in China, and in the rest of the Asian and Middle East countries. So this is my opinion. This is what I see. It's more fantastic to see these great players playing in the Asian Champions League. Yeah.